show you how to set up our Tru Center Taper Tool. In the package it comes with, there's going to be some pretty good directions, but it never hurts to talk about it. You get the body. You're going to get two blades which are identical, so it doesn't matter if you're going to use one for the knock or for the point taper. You get 4 small screws. You get a set screw, large set screw. You get a stop pin, your 2 Allen wrenches, and your 3 collets. Your 5/16 has no lines on it. 11/32 has 1 line on it. Your 23/64 has 2 lines on it. And we also sell a 1/4 inch collet. It's an on-the-side item that you have to order separately. Okay, to get started, you pick out one of these flats, and you can see there is 2 holes there, and those holes line up with the blades. So you just put a blade over it, grab one of those small socket-head cap screws, go through the blade, and it should go in very easy. You don't want to bottom it out. You want to get it there. If it hits, just back it off half a turn. Don't worry about the cutting edge placement on there. You want to just get the blade in there. Again, if it goes, you don't want to cross thread this. This is aluminum. It's anodized, so it's very easy to cross thread those screws or over tighten them. One thing I failed to mention is on this blade, there's a completely flat side, and on the other side you'll see a little ramp taper to the sharp edge. You want the flat side down. Okay, put the blade on the body. Get yourself that lined up and gently get that thing to start turning. Okay, now that you got the blades, both of them turned in there, or bolted down, I still have the blades very loose. That blade can move back and forth. There's some slot or play in the blades. There's a slotted hole there. But what you want to do is you want to get that blade so that just the very edge of it, the edge of this blade, is hanging over the edge of this. Now, one thing I failed to remember is you're going to see me scratch this up here. And what I'm doing, it'd probably be better if the blade wasn't in there, but I can see the blade catching right here. There's a little burr. So there we go. Probably can see that shiny spot right there. What happened was when they came in here and drilled this hole out, they rolled a little burr over that. You want this blade here to be able to slide over that without hitting anything. And there was a little hiccup right there. Didn't take much to get rid of it. So what I'm going to do now is get that blade right to that edge and then just sneak it over the smallest amount, no more than the thickness of that blade. Same thing down here. I can see the flat, and I'm going to just keep moving the back of that blade until it just is hanging over the lip of that opening. Just barely. Okay, I'm going to try the same thing on this side. First, what I'm going to do is make sure that this blade can slide freely, and it does. So I'm going to get it as close to the edge as possible. On this one, I'm going to start with the blade pulled all the way back and just snug it up. Okay, not super tight, just snug. There's a set screw, another Allen wrench, and there's only one place it can go, right in the center. Just get it started. So you get this set screw in there, and that's to set your depth for your point taper, your field tip or your broadhead. And you'll look through there and you'll see that that hole goes through, and you're going to drop that in there. I'm going to get that blade out of the way a little bit. Okay. Alright, so you can see it in there. We don't know the right depth yet, so I'm just going to leave it right where it is. Tighten up that set screw. When you tighten that set screw up, it's going to hit that pin. Okay, there it hit. Now that pin can't come out. I'm going to tighten the screws down that are holding my blade down. It's important that that blade is laying flat on that shelf, because if you get any wood chips underneath there, that blade is actually, instead of laying flat, it's going to hump up and it won't cut. And that seems to be a problem some people have with this tool, is they get chips underneath there and they think it doesn't work. Well, you got to take the blade off, clean the chips out. I'm going to take the 11/32 end, and it is a threaded collet, and there's threads there, and just turn it on. Just 11/32 cedar shaft. We're going to take a trial run so you can see where it is. Okay, like right away I can tell it's not cutting, so I don't have enough blade overhanging. So I'm going to loosen up those screws, and I'm going to just give it a little nudge forward. So what I've done is I've adjusted the front of the blade just over the lip, and the back of this blade I've adjusted pretty much all the way out as far as it can go, and it's giving me a nice taper. Let's see how that blade on the other side is. That one I just put in there and set it up, and that's the way you want it to cut. It'll give you a nice long give you a perfect taper. That's the kind of chips you want to see. So that one is done. One thing I wanted to point out is when we were doing this taper here, have a field tip along and check it to make sure it's this length isn't too long. If that length is too long, you have this pin right in here. You loosen up this set screw, and what you're going to do is just from the back side you can push that pin out a little bit more, and that'll shorten how much of a taper until you get exactly what you want, so it fits either your field tip or your broadhead complete. So that's how you set up a Tru Center Taper Tool.